you are getting from this cold plunge and staying like another 20 minutes without getting hot, but let your body do the work. And then after that, I would go to the cedar barrel. So that depends on what you want to do, what goals you want to achieve. We are there to help you because we have so many resources, so many services that will help you to get yourself on a holistic path, but you have to invest your time. Money-wise, it's not that expensive compared to other treatments that you will need to achieve those goals. But you have to invest your time because it's not a patch. It's not, the surgery that, okay, let's cut the part of your stomach and you're going to be done. Or let's do this, the shots and you're going to be done. No, you have to invest your time. And this has to be your routine.
And welcome back to Small Business Success Talk. I am your host, Christy Smallwood, and as usual, I'm super excited, but for a different reason today, because this time I actually got to go on site to my guest's business and be able to take some footage and really feel what it's like to sit in their environment, which I'm over the moon about being able to do this because I haven't got to do one of those experiences yet. And it was just so stinking peaceful. It was beautiful. The energy, the vibe in the place is amazing. And so my guests today are two ladies who found each other in Louisville, Kentucky. They both hail not from around here. They landed in Louisville, not knowing each other, but because Louisville is so notorious for allergies. I mean, we all suffer from it around here. Sinus issues are a thing. And these ladies were like, we don't like this and we want to do something about it. They created a business, a wellness business, based on the root of that issue. So I was very excited to talk to both Anna and Dasha about Bodhi Salt. And this experience was absolutely amazing. As you listen, you're going to hear us explain the whole the business itself, and of course their stories as usual, and some great input. These ladies have an extensive background that they're just both brilliant and funny and dry wit. I love it, and it was such a wonderful conversation. And Ozzy, they have a dog. And he's a French bulldog. And honestly, because the environment, the way that it is one of the most calmest French bulldogs I have ever met in my entire life. And he was just, at one point, he started snoring. So I'm hoping that I don't know if that you can hear that, but at one point the dog started snoring so loud I could hear it through my headset. And it cracked me up the entire time, but he's absolutely sweet. And so are these ladies, and they are excellent at what they do. And I'm excited to share their story, their business with you here on Small Business Success Talk. Here are my new friends, Dasha and Anna with Bodhi Salt. Ladies, thank you so much for being my guest on this episode of Small Business Success Talk. I've been looking forward to this because it's on site and it's Bodhi Salt.
Correct.
Very good. So, and it's Anna and Dasha.
That's right.
I confirmed this before we even started talking because, I don't want to get names wrong because I don't like it when people get my name wrong. So it's Christy, but people do call me Cindy. Not sure why, but it does happen. Anyway,
it's weird.
It is very
so
weird.
Random.
So I really appreciated the tour before we got started. So I'm going to incorporate some of that into the show because the facility you have here is very beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Very excited to be on site today. So I want to know right off the bat, I know in your bios you guys had said you've started this because of allergies from being in Louisville, but what got you here in Louisville in the first place? So give me a little bit of your background and how you landed
So
here.
for me, it was really easy. It's my husband's work. So usually that works at, moving people around the world or war. But in my case, it was just work. So we landed here in Louisville about 13 years ago. Yeah, so it's going to be 13 years this year. And we just loved it in here because it's a great place to raise the family. It's great and friendly environment for the kids, and it was very friendly for us as newcomers. So I call it home, and I'm so proud of it.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Well, my story is not very different because it's also my job. My husband got a job offer from a company based in Louisville, so that's how we ended up here. But it's not our first time in the U.S. because this is my 5th country to live in, and we've been traveling a lot. And I had a very corporate career for about 20 years, living in many countries, being responsible for like 50 countries, being in headquarters in Switzerland. And many years ago, over 10 years ago, I used to work in St. Louis, Missouri, in the Purina headquarters for the North America. And that's how I know Louisville, so it's not far. My husband was working here in the same company those days, and we used to travel back and forth. So that's what brought us here, job. Both of us were in the same situation, job and husbands.
Did you guys already know each other before you got to?
No.
How did this happen?
So at the time, I was a principal of Russian School of Mathematics, and Anna just came here with her family, and she needed a place for her kid to do extracurricular activities. And we started talking, and at this point, I was ready to leave and start my own thing because I was just managing the facility, but it was not my own. And Anna had several ideas, I had several ideas, so we exchanged those, and that's how it is. When we know each other for a year now.
Year and a half.
And you guys, so you guys met, became friends, started a business together.
I would put it even differently.
Yeah.
We met and started the business together and then became friends.
Wow.
Yep.
That's rare. That is very rare.
So it's it's only 2 years since we moved to Louisville, and you're absolutely right. When we moved, we had severe allergy with my son. We never knew what allergy is. I didn't even know the word. It's because it's not usual for us.
Oh, yeah, welcome to Louisville.
And then one day I woke up and my son was struggling, and I had red eyes. I had every single symptom of a flu except for temperature. I thought it's just the flu, but now it's allergy. And because we come from the region where natural holistic medicine is there before and even prescribed by doctors, I just knew that salt therapy helps. So I kept on talking about that, and then I met Dasha, and I brainwashed her with salt therapy. And she said, "Okay, I bought it. Let's do it."
So actually, the salt therapy was not strange to me because in Russia it's really common. So if you have some problems with lungs or allergies or nerve system, doctor will prescribe you to go to the salt chamber, and we have those salt chambers in every clinic, give or take. And when I was managing daycare facility for the small kids, one of those were for allergy kids. And it was prescribed, not prescribed, it was mandate that you have the nap room with hollow therapy, hollow generators or salt generators. So kids would breathe salt particles during their nap time, because that helps. It's not something like, ooh, we just invented that. No, it's been around for generations and generations of physicians all over the world.
Fascinating. So tell me more about your experience with not everybody. Look, I've been in Louisville area my entire life. I have done the allergy shots. Allergies are a thing here, and we just get used to it. We know, we can tell the change of seasons. We can tell what to do next in our lives based on how the allergies are working. So it's just become part of our rhythm. But to have you guys experience it for your first times, it can be a little overwhelming to know that literally you're in one of the hottest spots for allergies on the planet.
Overwhelming is underestimation because it's not just allergy. I develop asthma here. So yeah, it is severe. And we have the clients, like several clients, and one in particular, she just shared her story with us that this year, for the first time in her life, pretty much, she's able to go outside and enjoy her gardening. Not just look at the garden through the window, but being there, because she is here like religiously 3 times a week. And she does not do any shots anymore. She does not take any medications. It just solved.
That's fascinating.
It is. Well, it was overwhelming, and especially my son was 3.5 years old. So for the little one, you always worry a lot more than you do for an adult. And I couldn't stand the thought that he's 2 days at school, 2 days at home. And I just couldn't stand the thought that his immune system has been hit by something, and potentially in the future, that would mean that he might have a weakened immune system. So that's the whole point about it. It's not only solving the issue today, which many pills do. You get a pill and that's it. It's gone for a few hours, right? But for me, it was more important to make it last longer, and to build for the future. And that's the whole concept of many services at our facility, that it's not only managing the today, but it's more building for the future. And it's our mentality with Dasha. That's what we share. We have a few values in common. That's why we became friends after building the business together.
There's a little extra laughter in that, so I'm guessing those values are not just super serious.
Yeah, we're together all the time, so we have to have like a lot in common and have fun on a situation, on ourselves and stuff like that, because without that we are just like, what is that?
Yeah.
Why would we be together?
So for us, and for me especially, the every single pill that is an extra, because we're not against the medicine that doctors prescribe. Sometimes you do need that, but we don't need those extra. We don't need those that we can get rid of by just coming and breathing in salt, or by just sitting in a barrel and getting detox program at the same time, enjoying yourself, relaxing, but getting rid of toxins. We just don't need that extra. And here we preach that it's not that it will solve all the issues magically, but you will get rid of the extras that you don't need. And because I'm a numbers person, that will save you money. And I did even my math one day, and depending on the condition, of course it varies, but on average you can save up to $600 a month. Like by getting rid of the extra pills and doing the salt therapy regularly.
You're not wrong. So even my own path of this, I severe allergies, asthma, inhaler. I was living on the pills every single day, had the shots on a weekly basis, had my inhaler ready to go all the time. And I discovered essential oils. And once I got on those and did that consistently, it got rid of my inhaler. And so now I'm my own special blend at night that I use, and I just breathe that in, and it's kept me off the inhaler, off the medication this entire time. So I'm all for anything that's natural, holistic, long term, because you're right, having to go buy the pills to just fix it for a few hours to get through that moment. Every once in a while I still need one if it's really, really bad, but to know that like that one bottle can last me all year now instead of going and getting one every week.
That's right. Yeah. And having pills around, that's great. We have to be grateful to the progress and that humanity achieved with the medicine and pharmaceutical things. But let's not forget our roots. Let's not forget that we are just animals, We are animals. And we can use something that nature has to give to us. And maybe those pills, they're not like that necessary in some cases.
But it's good that you mentioned the essential oils, because we do use them here as well in a slightly different form. Like the steam barrel, in it we put the herbs and the roots, not only the herbs. Depending on the, like a person may come and say, like, I have body pain. We have a special root that would help you in 20 minutes to get rid of it. without anything else, even without touching your body, as massage does, for example. Or in our infrared sauna, which is now combined with the cold plunge, we have the aromatherapy. And again, the smell can be chosen depending on which state you're in when you come in. Or the oil treatment, which is the ancient 5,000 years old Indian Shirodhara. You smell the oil.
I did. It was amazing.
It's amazing. And the blend of herbs that is in there relaxes our body so much that you can get rid of stress, anxiety. It can help you to relax. Some moms come here for a nap because that's the moment where they would spend 1 hour just sleeping, and it's important.
You guys are both moms.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Are you both moms of littles or growns or like?
I have 2 18 years old.
Mine is 5 years old, 5.5.
You do not have 18-year-olds.
Yes, I do. It's hard to believe in for myself. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Especially when I have to look up to, to look at my baby boy.
I have a little stepbrother who is like 6.5 feet tall.
Yes, that's
Like,
my son.
You were here when I first got you in my life. What happened? Yeah. Okay. So I'm bringing that up because one of the first rooms that you come into in here, right immediately, is this big room, and the whole thing, it's not a fluffy carpet. It is nothing but Himalayan salt on the floor.
It is.
And it's the kids' room.
But adults likes to play there too.
I would love to
Some
play
of
in
my
there.
girlfriends, not some of them, most of them, they would just jump in there and do the salt angels right away.
Yep. We all need to be kids. We with all the things that kids have, creativity, imagination, and all of it, it comes back in the salt room because you can actually play with it. You can build with it. You cannot imagine. One day we had a bunch of boys and they built a prison with Hot Wheels tracks. And they sent my son to the prison. And you know what he said? Like, let me pick up the toys so that I have fun in the prison. That's how creative you can get there. And just imagine yourself being there with your girlfriends, even us adults. It's like, it's full of fun. And it's more...
And you can change the lights.
You can change the lights.
Yeah.
You can change
Yes,
the music.
you guys
fun.
have that LED, like the clouds thing going on
We
up
had
there.
so much
It's
fun
beautiful.
creating this room. And, pretty much everything that you see around you, it was done by us. So we had a lot
beautiful.
of love poured into this place and some muscles as well too. So yeah, we love it here.
Well, yeah, like even in the room that we're in right now, this is my first time being like in a salt room, in a salt cave, if you will, or whatever. But having this whole little trench, no, is that the right word? What is that?
Like the salt border.
The border on the bottom of all the way around, and there's little lights in it. Like it just, everything about this room is why I'm so glad we made space to record in here, because everything about this room just feels good.
Thank you.
Yeah, everything. Like, and we'll get to him in a second. You can't see him behind me. I'll put him in the video, but he's taking a nap right now, so let's not disturb him. But little Ozzy.
It's impossible to disturb him. If he wants to sleep, he's gonna sleep through the thunder. That's his full-time job. Well, basically not. He is our receptionist, so he greets people. He will play with kids, so kids love him. He is really friendly. He would take a nap with some of our guests, and he can actually pick up on a person. So if you feel down, you'll be the first. He will jump on the laps and just calm you down.
Oh,
and yeah,
he really is the dog therapist.
He is.
He's self-proclaimed there, so he doesn't have any license yet. We're thinking about maybe licensing.
No business cards.
No business card. Well, actually, he does have business card and his own Instagram channel. Of course,
Well, we'll have to include that in the show notes.
we have to.
We definitely have to include that in the show
So
notes.
another thing that I want to mention about like all our services that we are talking like so patiently. So this, every single one of them has a significant scientific background. So it's not just, okay, some people decided to breathe the salt and it helped. There are tons of researchers that can prove how it works and how it like really works. Even our ancient old treatment Shradar, it looks like something from the fairy tale, and it does look and feels like in a fairy tale, but it does have some science behind it, because when we pour the oil on our third eye, it's not just like spot randomly picked by Asian Indians. So they did their research as well, so they didn't have the fancy CT scan machine, but behind the spot there is the part of the brain that gives us pleasure. And every time when we go, this gives us pleasure, people start thinking, self. No, it's a different kind of pleasure. So it just tells our body that we have it under control. Nothing is worrying you right now. So you can
safe.
Relax. You are safe, you are content. That's it. So this is the actual pleasure, that the different definition of that. And if you point on any services that we have, we can give you a chart with the science and science links about that.
So let's walk through some of these services that you guys have, because I've done the tour and each one of them fascinate me. But let's start with the barrels.
Oh, that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
And I told Anna, so for those of you listening, I told Anna when we walked through, I was giggling at these barrels. And I didn't want to seem rude, because I wasn't laughing because they're barrels. I was laughing because I remembered an episode of the 1950s Superman show where Superman, being Clark Kent, and the editor, Perry White, are off trying to solve a mystery, and they're at a gym that have those things, but they're metal, and they just sit them in there, steam them up, lock them in, and all you see is their heads on these little, machines. And that's what makes me giggle, because when you sit in these barrels,
the same.
If you're looking at whoever's sitting in the barrels, all you see is their head popping out.
Yep.
And that's what makes me giggle. Now, let's talk about the reality of the experience.
Well, we do look funny when we're sitting there, so we're not going to hide it.
No, it is funny. It is funny. The difference is, though, that they are made of cedar, and they came from Siberia, and they are based, again, they're well supported by science. So when you sit inside, it's not only you breathe in the steamed, you can breathe in if you don't want to, it's fine, but you get this steamed air with the smell of true cedar, but also with the herb and roots infusion, it makes it even better. So it's great for detoxification. And sweating is one of the ways how we get rid of toxins. So the steam helps you to reach that point faster. And it depends. The temperature can be adjusted, but some people prefer sitting there for 45 minutes with 96, 98 degrees temperature. The others would tell us, make it 115 and 10 minutes. It just depends on how heat tolerant you are. I'm not heat tolerant. That's why saunas are not made for me at all. And these steam barrels, they're built for the people like I am, because you don't have to breathe in the hot and dry air, which you would find in any sauna. You breathe in slightly heated, but room temperature. And it's a bit humid, but not too much, because the steam stays inside the barrel. You just have your head popping up. And just imagine that complemented with the smell of herbs. And we put on the screen, or usually we put either a fireplace or the ocean waves. Some people prefer the Netflix, which we also have. And we have especially men coming, like buddies together, to watch a game on Netflix. And that's
I was going to ask, what do you do with yourself? Because you can't be on your phone. You can't.
No.
So the first thing,
screen
we have
time. 2
barrels. And that was the main reason, because for me, it's really boring to sit in there. But when you have a buddy, I like to go there with my girlfriends or with my husband so we can chat. Because when you're chatting, you can sit longer. Every time when I'm doing that alone, and we are closed on Monday, and this is the day I love to spend all by myself, everything in here. But in a barrel, I only can sit 15 minutes because it's getting too boring for me. So that's why we have 2 of them. So you can bring a buddy and spend the time together. We have a lot of mothers, daughters bonding, dates in there. this the most popular, or just two guys, discussing their boats or whatever they're discussing. I
Or
have
couples.
No idea, or couples. Or yeah, the couples. Yeah, this is
that would make sense.
one of the most popular like date nights that we have is when the couples are coming here for a private yoga session in a salt room, couples yoga, and following by steam cedar barrels. And they are so happy and relaxed. You can see the changes of their faces, and you can see the changes of their dynamics between them, like relationship, because when they are together in a salt room, breathing salt, getting calmer, and they're together doing yoga, it's just magical date.
Reconnection.
People coming back to that all the time. So we have a retention, like huge retention rate for the couples coming back for this particular date night.
That's fascinating. Okay, so walk me through some of your other ones as well, because you got a cold plunge.
Wow,
have my obsession.
Dasha is the
Love
best
it.
person to talk about contrast therapy.
I love it. So I'm not the person to go to the swimming pool if it's below 70, just so you know. But when we got the cold plunge by the request of many of our customers, somebody has to promote it, right?
Absolutely. Somebody's
And I
got
go,
to get in
okay,
that thing.
toughen up, get in there. So I jump into the cold plunge for the first time, like for 10 seconds probably, maybe less. Let's be honest, it was less. Oh my gosh, what? Why would people do that?
What the hell's
Why
going on?
would they do that to themselves? But I got addicted. So right now I'm sitting there, like I'm there every day, like just so you know. Today is my 15th day. And I'm sitting there for 4 minutes. So right now I need to watch something. So I just ask advice for everyone, like, what do I need to do there? Because like it's just boring for me again to sit there. But what I can tell you right away, the improvement in my life quality is tremendous.
Really?
Yes. I never thought that I will pronounce those words about the cold plunge, but it is. So my stress level is nowhere to be found. And I have two 18 years old, just so remind you.
Right, too.
Yeah?
Because they're twins.
Yes, they're twins, boy and a girl, so with different level of emotions
But
involved.
still, there's two 18-year-olds at the same time.
It's crazy. But I'm super chill right now. And I can sleep through the night without any pills.
What?
And this is the first for like many years. And I feel better. I have more energy. And it's really hard to get me on a nerve because like, whatever, yeah, we can talk through that. And everyone like in my family, like, what's going on? Is it a new medication? What is that? Do we have to worry about you? Because I'm really hot-head, usually. And right now I'm just like,
tell that about you.
chill. So, but you can use the cold plunge not just for that. So this is the immediate effect that I got. But in the long run, it's great for your immune system because you shock your body with that cold thing, and then it's up to you. Either you want to go to the sauna before or after, or like in between the jumping into swimming into the cold plunge, or you want your body to produce enormous amount of energy to warm it up. So people are using that for different purposes. Athletes are using this to recovery because you put your body in shock, then slowly get yourself warm in the sauna. It's amazing for the muscle recovery. I'm working out a lot and I can feel it right away, especially after the leg day. I will have to go there for the recovery process.
Huh.
People are using there to increase their metabolism level, to lose the weight, because when you're in there, your body push all the things that they have, all the forces to warm it up, and you burning enormous amount of calories in there. And if you decided to go on this path,
I just want to take a minute to thank the sponsor of our show, 502 Hemp in Louisville and 812 Hemp in Clarksville, Indiana. If you are looking for quality legal cannabis products, they are definitely your source. If you have questions of what would work best for you, their educated staff can help you choose the best product for your needs, like they did with me. I was having some real issues. One, my hormones were raging and I was raging all the time, just not in a very good place. And when I went into the store and I expressed everything that was going on, they asked additional questions that helped them get me to a solution. And the solution meaning better sleep at night, my inflammation's lower. I have been able to just be a better quality of life with my whole mental attitude because These things work great. My preference is the Maria products. That is a special blend that 502 Hemp owners have created themselves. And I use the Ultra Spectrum CBD gummies, the blood orange. It's 1,000 milligrams. Like this is the potent stuff, like meaning it's the highest milligrams I can get. And I need that for what my system needs. You may not need that much. They also have oils. And so I love the full spectrum here as well. But they have ranges, and according to what you're looking for to help in your body, they can help guide you in that way. So check them out at either 502hemp.com or 812hemp.com. Or if you're driving by, stop in one of the stores and they will absolutely be able to help you out. There's no need to wait for a medical dispensary to open. They have safe, reliable products now. And if you stop in a store, tell them Christy sent you, they'll give you 15% off. And not only that, but if you order online, 502hemp.com or 812hemp.com, and you put in that discount code of success, you'll also get 15% off. So check them out today. And I very much appreciate them being a sponsor of Small Business Success Talk.
You are getting from this cold plunge and staying like another 20 minutes without getting hot, but let your body do the work. And then after that, I would go to the cedar barrel. So that depends on what you want to do, what goals you want to achieve. We are there to help you because we have so many resources, so many services that will help you to get yourself on a holistic path, but you have to invest your time. Money-wise, it's not that expensive compared to other treatments that you will need to achieve those goals, but you have to invest your times because it's not a patch. It's not, the surgery that, okay, let's cut the part of your stomach and you're going to be done. Or let's do this, the shots and you're going to be done. No, you have to invest your time. And this has to be your routine. This is the most kind of struggling part for most of the people because you have to include it in your routine.
I think this would typically have fallen under self-care conversation.
Absolutely.
It is.
But I think self-care seems so shallow for what this really is. It's not just about caring. It's about being true to what your body is needing, your soul to be carried around in. And when we can actually, taking care, but it's not just a spa day. Like
it's not pampering.
It's not
That's
pampering. Thank
different.
you. It's different than pampering. So the shallow part of self-care conversation is that pampering for a day. Like go get your nails done, get your hair done, get your facial. This is actual care of self. And so investing that time, like we just don't. We just think it is a one-off and I need to go whatever. But
we do have services for that. We have 15 minutes express services. As I told you, I come from a corporate world and every single minute is there to be counted. So I'm on the efficiency side. Even our sauna, which is an infrared sauna, that's how it looks like from outside, but we have 6 things included in it. So you do salt therapy, red light therapy, infrared sauna, aromatherapy, sound therapy, all together at the same time. 15
that's
minutes.
Efficient. I love that idea.
It's 15 minutes only. So people think that self-care is something that you invest a lot of time in. Just go around our facility. The longest service that we have is 60 minutes, which would be the oil treatment, the Shirodara one. Everything else is less than that. Definitely, a person can invest 1 hour of time to self-care a week. It's not a lot. It's just like make it a routine. And I'm being a certified leadership and business coach. I'm all about time management and all of that. So everybody can integrate 1 hour of true self-care in a week. And then by making it a routine, seeing the results, you would wish to do more. We have another one, which is the red light and salt therapy booth. Red light is a big thing now. It's everywhere, and I wouldn't go too much into the benefits it brings. You can Google it. The whole point of it is that many places have red light only, or you would need to lay down on a couch to do your red light therapy, which would last long. No, we have a booth with salt therapy and red light therapy together, combined in 15 minutes. That's the minimum that you need to do that. On some conditions, you need to do it longer, but minimum is 15 minutes. You're just sitting there. We have customers that literally would give us a call. I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. Is it free? They're coming in and leaving the facility. We don't even see them. Like, that's because they're businessmen usually, or entrepreneurs, or self-employed people that go around town a lot. So, and they will do that for 15 minutes. That's how little you need to invest in yourself. And then if you can make it up to an hour, that would be even better.
So what inspired you guys to even start a business?
Because I want to do something for myself, like my own, not to work for like anybody else. And I've been in the small businesses for pretty much my whole life. Unless unlike Anna, I step out of corporate world the minute I get in there, pretty much. And so it was like completely opposite of what I want to do in my life. And I spent like 5 months working for like big, huge dealership back in Russia. And I go, no, get out. And I started a business. So I had printing salon. I was managing school and daycare center. At some point I had a bakery and like a lot of different things, right? But then I moved to United States, and by the time I was teaching philosophy and political science at university as well, but it was not enough to support myself. So when I moved to United States, I decided I'm not going to go to get another PhD. It was like, no.
Oh, I don't want another PhD.
I mean,
I think I am not the smartest bulb at this table, just FYI.
Well, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that I'm too lazy. So I go ahead and start doing yoga. So I certified in the United States as a yoga instructor, and then I had like gazillion of extra hours of anatomy, breath work, trauma, post-trauma, maternity, and postpartum yoga, and like all of that. I love.
You're not lazy. There's nothing about what you just said isn't lazy at all.
Well, I have ants in my pants all the time, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can put it this way, yeah.
The philosophy that I'm preaching these days with Dasha is 80 is the new 100. Which means that if you're 80% happy with what you do, for majority of people would mean it 100. It's fine. Let's do it.
I take it that we have a perfectionist at the table.
Well, we both are.
We all both are, but I'm just like...
in different ways.
I'm really annoying with the details and whatever I'm doing. So if I'm doing something that's not satisfying me, it's like, oh, I cannot make it mine. So we couldn't open the doors to the facility until I was like sure that I love it. All the details, all those boards that you see over here, like yeah. So, but long story short, I was running the small businesses or participating in the small businesses or just like managing the small businesses my whole life. And for me, this is something natural to do. Anna has her business background and she great with the tables and Excel, all of that.
Wow, that's just
a business standard.
Well, and before we even started this conversation, I think my mic's backwards. Here we go. Before we even started the conversation, you're like, I ran some numbers. I was like, oh, good for you.
She does that for fun, like when she's tired, you go, oh, I'm going to go to do some statistics. Because I'm tired, I cannot be efficient enough to do something serious, but like statistics.
Look, I have a best friend. She is all about Excel spreadsheets and numbers and all of that. And I love her for it because it takes up my slack. I don't have to do that when she's around.
Right?
Exactly.
So now you can see that we're a perfect couple.
We're a great balance.
Yes.
Oh, the other day I've been asked to crunch some numbers, and I think I asked like 5 or 6 questions. What kind of numbers would you like to see at the end? Because numbers can be crunched in so many different ways. I used to work for Nestlé, which is and Ferrero, the big guys from CPG world, and we get in all that data, and they sit on data. So you need to know how to crunch it in the best way. And from my side, the reason why we have this business is, well, first of all, I've been consulting businesses for the past, let me count, 7 years. So since I moved back from Switzerland to Russia, I started to receive some requests like, would you help me, like a business consultant with that or that? So I've been consulting small businesses for some time. And then when I worked in Switzerland, I built together a program for the small businesses, mom and pop shops, which was implemented in 500 customers in 15 countries, which means that I've been always there, but on the other side, on the other side of it. And the true reason, or the genuine reason to open this kind of business, was that I couldn't find anything that would ring a bell in my mind here in Louisville. I used to have, he was 3.5 those days, now he's 5.5, my son. So I couldn't find a facility which would welcome kids together with adults. I couldn't find a facility that would be working appropriate hours. And that's why we have 2 rooms. We have the kids room and the adults room, because you can come together with your little one, or they can be 18 years old as well, not necessarily the little ones. But the whole point of it is you come together, but you're in a separate room.
You can stay together if you want to.
You can still stay together, but sometimes parents do need their moment. And the guilt that we feel that, like, I leave my son, I would put it in my words, I leave my son at home with somebody else, and I go and do my nails, or I go and do massage. I do something for myself, and he's there, and he's not really been, I mean, he's well kept, but he's not entertained. He's not learning something new. He's not enjoying what he could have enjoyed. So this part, the guilt part, comes always in parents. And here at our facility, you can come in with your child, go and do yoga for yourself, and at the same time we have story time session with we have great tutors. We love them so much, and we can't even decide who's better. It's always,
they're so different. They're really different.
They are different, but they're so good. So meaning that no one would feel the guilt. Well, the parent would not feel the guilt, and the kid would not feel that he's left or she's left somewhere on her own, like being together but separate.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of us building the facility. Even the flow of the services is designed in a way that the adult salt room is not really far from the kids salt room entrance, the second entrance to it. But you cannot hear the kids when they are playing over there, and you're enjoying yourself in this room.
So we have a family who've been doing that on regular, like religiously. So when they started that, they've been here every single day. And in the course of 3 weeks or months, let's say that, they had a review from their school teacher that the kid is performing way better. He can focus during the class. And the most important thing, the family can sleep through the night. Not just this kid, but mom can sleep through the night, which affects kids' mood and the whole, the dynamic in a family. When you have a cranky mom who just like haven't slept in months, what do you expect from this woman? She cannot run the family. So we have this. We have the woman who is like enjoying her gardening. But like most of all, we are the main customers here, us and our family. So we can see how it affects us and our family. And so that's why we're so enthusiastic about like talking about this. And sometimes my husband goes, honey, you need to slow it down, because it seems like you're selling stuff. Like, I do sell stuff. It's my business.
You're a business owner.
Yeah.
You're gonna sell.
But I am genuinely love what we have in here. So every single service that we have here represents us both, myself and Anna, because this is something that we love. We're not doing that just to sell. We build it for ourselves and for our families.
Yeah. Nice.
Lesson-wise, I would be on the business side. On many occasions, I would be talking business, and Dasha would be talking people. So that's how we are different. But so on the business side, the best lesson I've learned is that the systems, you cannot rely on the systems, even if they promise you that they are the best. Like the booking system or the payment system. or it's a struggle, and every business owner needs to get prepared for that. It's a struggle to work with website designers. It's a struggle to work with those who promise you a lot. And we constantly get those calls, and they would tell us, oh, we are a marketing agency and we can bring you leads like blah, blah, blah. No, there's
In the end, we're doing that ourselves.
Yeah, there's no miracle about that. It's just like you need to be prepared that these systems won't work. You need to be prepared that the people who are there to build your website would not make it the way it should be. You just need
time it should
and the
be.
timing. And that's the best best lesson.
I've been in marketing for years, and I know how much of a struggle that is for myself and everybody included. It doesn't get easier the more tech they keep adding, and they say that the tech is the solution, and it's not. It's the people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're literally just making the relationship, but it's through these different channels. But shiny object syndrome is a thing. You gotta have a website. People are gonna check you out, but it's not the website that sells it. It's gonna be referrals.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if you don't have one and not the other, it's disjointed. Like there's so many layers to what your marketing needs to make you successful. It gets really confusing really fast. Like this is one of the things that I educate small business on. Like, let's base camp this. Here's all of the basics. Keep it here. Be successful in the basics. Then go find your shiny object. Like if you want to have 50 TikTok channels, fine, go ahead. But do you have the capacity to maintain TikTok channels, Instagram, LinkedIn,
That's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
I totally relate to what you say, especially being a consultant myself. As a piece of advice to all entrepreneurs, business owners, don't be shy to get some help, consulting help. But just make sure that you choose the right person. That would be the other side of it.
I have also been in this business for a long time, and I will tell people, like, don't take me as I'm not the end-all be-all. And if you and I can't get along, you're not going to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So interview those people. Find out if we're on the same wavelength, if we can, our personalities mesh. Am I credible enough? And are we a shared value system? Because if we don't have these three things, this ain't going to last, and you're going to waste your money working with me. Because you ain't going to like me being so direct. Because I'm going to look at your baby and say, you need to do something about that. And that's kind of what you're hiring me for. But if you don't want to hear that, so there's a lot of things. Absolutely. Thank you for that, because those are two big lessons. The ask for help is a big deal. You need to have your bases covered, your accountant, your attorney, your, some of the big ones. But the website girl, I've had plenty of experience over the years of people coming to me going, I was supposed to have this.
And I got this.
And I got this. And I was like, okay, let me see what I can do to help fix that. And I'm sure somebody else along the line, like it just keeps going. Like somebody finally gets upset with my website that I created and goes to another agency. Well, why would they do this? And then they do their thing, like their spin on it. I get it. I'm not, again, the perfect one here. But I've helped so many go from broken to built and functioning, and like this is what we needed to do. Oh my gosh, let's not get me in that subject.
It's our pain spot as well. So
yeah.
Just
we're building a new website as we speak
from scratch
because the current one is not working. I'm trying to choose the right words or the correct words to describe it,
and not to curse on
Yeah.
Oh, I curse all the time
because there is no polite way to describe our relationship with our current website.
And that's why you spend your Mondays in all of the methods around here.
Well, that's what Dasha does. Me, for example, I have my salt therapy in the sauna because I like a bit of heat. I like when it's warm. Every single day, after I close the facility, we close at 7 p.m. We work from 7 to 7 on weekdays. I would do my 15-minute session in the infrared sauna with salt. And that's what makes me a good wife and mom when I come back home.
It's a nice transition from business all day to Like, that's a nice ritual.
That's why I tell you it's 15 minutes only. That's a starting point. If you can make it 15 minutes a day, you'll do much better than you
And with a
even
cold
think.
plunge, with a cold plunge, it's even less.
Yeah, it's a few seconds.
And it's long lasting.
5 seconds in and out.
And it's so long lasting, and it's just like you're super chill the whole time.
I try to take cold showers. And
Oh no, it's different. No. I cannot stand it. But this is like you're already there. That's it. You're there.
You're in.
You're in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take your word for that on that one.
No, you should try it. Don't take my
try
word.
all the things.
Don't take my word on that. Try it, guys. You will feel the significant changes in your lives. Seriously.
So you guys have extensive backgrounds on all kinds of really cool things, all the cool stuff that you've done. When we are business owners, we need to be able to keep our motivation, our inspiration somehow. And usually that comes from being influenced by somebody else. So who are big influencers in your life that help keep you going?
Well, it's my son for me. Because he's an amazing personality to start with.
I mean, you do have to look up to him, literally.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, because he's really tall. So every time when I'm down, he actually the one who will give me some advice. When he was like little, he would just say something wise, and I was like, oh my gosh. But then he would do something stupid, and it's, like...
Because he's a boy.
Yeah, he's a boy. But he is the one who always supports me, and he's the person that I look up to. And if you're talking about like outside of my family influencers, there are quite a few in the yoga world, and like business wise, I'll give it to you first, and then we'll see. Let me come up with something. Like, what do you think? Who is yours?
I don't have a single person, but I'm a huge fan, and that's what I've been trained on, like a coach on leadership. So I'm a big fan of the business school, which is based in Switzerland, IMD. And they have a set of teachers that are truly amazing. Like, really one of the best people I could ever talk to. And Harvard Business Review, that's the magazine that inspires me a lot on both marketing and leadership. So I cannot name a single person, but the sources, because one person might have something, the other would have something different. But those are the two sources of inspiration for me, as well as I have my own attribute, which is curiosity. I'm really curious, and sometimes I just need to stop myself, because kind of that's enough. Let's do what we have, and then we'll get to know something new. So for me, as the former corporate person, this is a personal challenge of becoming an entrepreneur. So doing similar things, but from a different angle. Looking at the business as a whole versus when you're in the corporate world, you're responsible for part of the business, not the whole of it. So like managing P&L, it's different from managing a part of the P&L.
Yep.
So this is my curiosity, and I'm always like challenging myself whether I can do it. But the true inspiration that comes from the big names, and many of those, my favorite one would be, that's what I imagine, and that's the thing that I really admire, is the emotional courage, which was invented not so long ago as the word, as the meaning, is not only about managing your emotions. Oh yes, that's the
He's
sound.
snoring.
He's
Yeah.
snoring.
Okay. Just
Yeah, so that everybody knows who's gonna listen to this.
Well, it sounds like a little bug,
Yes, it's like a
cicadas
white
are
noise
big.
machine.
He is okay. Sorry to interrupt, but it's getting louder.
Yes.
And I just wanted to make sure it's not just a bug in the room. We have Ozzy back here snoring, so he's adorable.
Yeah, it is.
So the system, the ecosystem,
The ecosystem of sources,
yes,
absolutely. And the emotional courage, that's what I was talking about. That's I'm a huge fan of it. It's not only managing your emotions, but being able to talk about emotions, especially when when we kind of with Dasha on daily basis, we're chatting, even if Mondays are off, but it doesn't mean that we don't talk to each other on Mondays.
Right.
And I'm thankful to some of the modern technologies, because I can send a message to her which would be delivered tomorrow morning when she's awake, and not at night, because I'm the night person and she's the morning person. Yeah, so we also have to manage that. But it's the ability to talk about, you know what, this doesn't go that way. Or I know that sometimes I can be too corporate in the way I speak, but it's not related to it individual person. It's like, generally speaking, I got used to that.
And I'm sometimes all over the place,
and yeah, so
running like 15 projects in my head.
so that's why being able to talk this through, and this is probably another lesson to be learned for business, especially when you're partnering with somebody, is make sure that you talk, make things, vulnerable things.
And remember, nobody's reading your mind.
Yeah.
You need to pronounce that from your mouth.
And it could be really challenging. It could be really challenging because you don't know the reaction of the other person. But unless you speak it out, the other person would not pick it up.
I've had a few partnerships, and you're absolutely right.
It seems like it's easy task to do, but people do forget about them, and they're just like, oh, she is mean. And she didn't mean it ever. So that's why I need to talk, call her like, I think that, like, I feel that you imply something here. Please tell me, what was it? With words or from the mouth? Because like we all have our background, we have all our insecurities.
Yes.
Right?
We're all bringing our
we can
crap.
start creating the picture in the head that far from reality. And I saw it so many times when people are falling apart just because they were not able to speak to each other. And one person will create his own reality, another person create his own reality, and they do not like meet.
Cross. Yeah.
And nobody meant to be like rude or anything, but they didn't speak it through.
Right.
It's
communication helps.
That's the first thing that all the business owners, that they need to do that. And it's just two of us in Aussie, but
Aussie doesn't speak.
Yeah. Or he can be really
I'm pretty sure
about
I've already
his
gotten a
feeling.
couple of messages.
But when you have an employee, right, and they used to run small companies and not the small companies, you have to speak to employees. Mm-hmm. Because they would think something, you would think something about them, and instead of creating and building warm relationship, you would just like stay distance and expect somebody to understand your mind. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, I've had a team before, and they all felt very comfortable to come to me when there were concerns, when they had a concern about me or a concern about the business or what things were going on. I was like, that's what I don't like it. I don't like hearing that they're unhappy about something because I've said or did something, but I've created a safe environment in which they can do that, which makes me proud that they're doing it. Now I got to go fix whatever thing that they didn't like. And I was like, oh, I didn't even notice. So
It's hard work.
It's a full-time job being a team leader. And I used to have 50 direct reports, over 200 indirect reports. So it's a challenge, especially when you don't speak the same language. That's my experience.
Literally.
Yes, that's my experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for the UK, the other countries in Europe speak different languages.
Right.
But when you're talking about the small business, it's the most important skill that you need to attain, because it's really hard to build a relationship. It's even harder to maintain them. But this is your main source, the people that you're working with, and I truly believe in that. So that's the reason that I part with some of the companies I work for, because there was they didn't value people, and for me, just like big no.
Right.
Because you build a relationship, you just flourish that relationship, and this person will be there for you. She or he will back you up, and in any time. It's really it seems like easy. Okay, go. You don't like it, go away, step away. We hire another one. It seems like it's a step to do, but it's super wrong.
We are all about collaboration as the business, as people. And we want to build a community around Bodhi Salt. So it's not only the wellness center, but it's also the center that is safe for other peoples to grow, to build something together. And that's why we invite people to come here before we shake hands. We've had several cases when we were about to shake hands, but then I was like, stop, we need to meet the person. So we invite everybody to come here. And after the personal touch, the discussion, we shake hands.
Or not.
It could be, yeah, or not. We mentioned that previously about marketing, but it's not only the marketing consultant, it's every collaboration that you might have or partnership. Every single should be built on personal. People should match. Values should match. It should be the same direction. And you just should feel comfortable with yourself. And that's why we're very much on in-person meetings, and we're so happy to have you in our facility because you get a chance to see it, you get a chance to feel it, and just not simply talking to us like two individuals or two entrepreneurs owning the same business, but also to see what we build together, and we put our hearts and minds and lots of hours physical training, mental training into this.
All right, so as we wrap up, I have a final question I ask all of my guests. What does success mean for you?
That's actually a really complicated feeling, I would say. So when you feel that, okay, I'm successful. So for me, that would go with financial independence. That's like, let's not lie about that. So financial independence is really important. The next component to that will be how you affect the world. So I probably would never be able to work on some company that values of those not. So for example, I cannot work for like gun producing company.
Sure.
Right. Even though I would be successful in the financial part of that, but I wouldn't sleep at night well. So this is something that I need to know that I'm affecting world in a positive way. So that's why we have a lot of teaching, a lot of caring for the kids and kids education here. And like the health, obviously, the self-care thing. So that's why this is the road to success for me, because I'm affecting world in a positive way and getting closer to financial independence step by step.
Welcome to small business. What about you, Anna?
For me, I would start with I did it component. We rely on external appreciation so much. Many people do. And I'm a huge advocate for internal appreciation. And when I can tell myself I did it, that's what success is. Because when I did it, it means that it's in the numbers, it's supported financially, people recognize that, I managed to influence the world, and I managed to show something that is not available here. So I literally push the boundaries of the mindset of the people that surround me. So I'm a huge advocate for internal appreciation. From time to time, you need to sit down and go through the list of things that you've accomplished and tell yourself, I am a huge success. I did it.
I love that. Ladies, thank you so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. And then I'm going to be able to get some footage around. So we're going to overlay that into the show. Make sure we get all of your social handles, including Aussie's back there to put in the show notes, of course. And then I can't wait to see what happens with Bodhi Salt in the future. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
See how cool that is? If you are on the West Coast, if you are somewhere not around Louisville and you have a chance to partake in a business like that, I highly recommend. If you are in the Louisville area or anywhere near it, if you are passing through, stop at Bodhi Salt. Get you something scheduled, check with those ladies. The equipment they have is stellar. And this isn't as you can see by some of the videos, but if you haven't been able to see, or go to the website and check out some of the screenshots that I'll take and post in the show notes. It is a really amazing facility that has wellness technology to it. And you can, like she said, 15 minutes, you could sit in one of those infrared saunas and fully clothed. You don't have to strip down to that. You just take in, like, let your body take in all of this great stuff. And you feel a little rejuvenated whenever you're done. And your body starts to adjust to the healthy things. I'm telling you, even my own experience with, like I mentioned in the show, essential oils years ago, I've led up to all of this stuff. And so now I'm fully on board with holistic, homeopathic things that our body can absolutely use a lot more of. I did want to mention the ladies told me afterwards, so I'm going to tell you here, they do have a retreat coming up. So if you're interested in more of the wholeness, wellness thing, it is an actual 5-month in-person wellness retreat combining group therapy, holistic healing, and it begins August 22. Designed for women ages 40 to 65 seeking personal renewal, deeper connection, and emotional well-being. And it's limited to 10 participants. So if you're interested, you want to get in quickly. It's going to be held monthly inside the Serene Salt Room at Bodhi Salt, which, again, if you're checking out the video or the screenshots, you can see that room that we were in. It's going to be led by a licensed therapist, clinical coach, Joyce Skurdin, I think is her name. It's Scherdin. I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly. There's 5 monthly sessions, 3 hours each. There's guided therapeutic group circles. There's personalized wellness service. There's a community gathering. It looks to be a very immersive experience throughout the 5 months to really get you everything that you would need for total wellness. Salt room therapy, red light, cedar barrel with herbal infusion, contrast therapy, which is your cold and infrared, and the Shirodahara, the warm oil float, which is one of the things I want to do really bad. Like a whole hour of just really good oils. Yes, please. Therapeutic themes that are explored in this is relationships as the foundation of well-being. So how are you doing with relationships, which is so important. With those ladies being new to the Louisville market and they have a very successful business, relationship building is key, because Louisville is also notorious for you better have some really good relationships or you are not going to make it in this town. We ain't New York, okay? The old saying of if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Try Louisville first. If you can hit it here, you got it made. Social fitness based on Harvard's study of adult development, depth versus breadth in connection, emotional self-awareness, stamp of approval on that one, navigating life's transitions with resilience. This looks to be an amazing retreat. Highly recommend things like this. If you are into developing, especially that segment of your life wheel, if you've never used a life wheel, highly recommend it. I can show you how, because it's a tool I use with myself and all my clients. If you are looking at improving your area of your health and wellness, highly recommend doing things like this. So with that, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. I did as well. Go check out all of the show notes, the extra screenshots, things like that. And comment about what your favorite part was, the things that you like about holistic healing and therapeutic and homeopathic things. All of the, we used to call it airy-fairy stuff. Now it's like mainstream and it's important and it's getting us back to, nature and our roots and almost literally. So, root and herbal things in that cedar plank barrel. I'm so looking forward to that day that I can do that. I just don't know if I can sit still quite that long, but we're going to find out. So thanks for listening and watching this episode of Small Business Success Talk. I have been your host, Christy Smallwood, and I'm still your host every episode. And I look forward to the next one.